Hello, everybody. I know everybody is subjective, but it better be everybody. Hi, we're back for another installation of Let's Talk with my very special guest. I know y'all tired of me saying my good friends, good. I don't have to say it anymore. I get to say with my cousin, the therapist to my star, my cousin, Karen J. Moore. But before we start talking to Karen, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you will be reminded of when I'm on here talking and acting and looking like this. Please, y'all, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. But let's get the word out about this show. I think we're having fantastic conversations. I have had exceptional guests. So get the word out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever you're supposed to do. But share the knowledge of this show. Now, without further ado, my guest is somebody I talk to every single day. So what we get ready to do is just what we do, but we doing it in front of y'all. My cousin, I'm gonna let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit more about yourself, Karen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Moore. I am based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I am a licensed mental health counselor and a licensed clinical addictions counselor. The name of my practice is Elevated Minds LLC. As I stated, I'm licensed and I reside in Indianapolis, Indiana, but I'm also licensed in the state of Florida as well as in New Jersey. And so I've been in private practice for over 15 years. Absolutely love what I do. 100% virtual. That happened forcefully due to COVID, but that's a conversation for a later time. And I specialize in working with individuals, couples, as well as athletes. So thank you, Melva,
Oh,
for
nice.
having me here today.
Of course. Thank you for being here. I don't know if what my screen did, but I'm trying to fix. We're having an audio issue. I don't know. I'm back.
She's back.
I'm back. Oh my goodness, y'all, that's never happened. Thank you, Karen, for holding down the fort, and thank goodness it happened
Listen,
with you. Oh my goodness, Saints! I had an audio issue, and everything just went over. It was gone. So I apologize, everyone. Thank you again for bearing with me. So we're back with me and our guest. You said you were forced online because of COVID?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So here in Indiana, in Indianapolis, Marion County, the governor and the mayor, they had when they shut us down.
Mm.
Okay. And so, and we were, semi forced to be in our homes. And so that little backstory. I have been providing or offering telehealth for over almost 4 years now. So I was already accustomed to it. I had the platform, everything, you know, I was comfortable with it. And so, but I had clients that were not, but they wanted to continue with their services.
Mm-hmm.
So go from the office, and I said, well, why not just use my home office? And I've been here ever since March the 13th, 2020. Yes.
Nice. Like, that's perfect. What do you think about, you know, a lot of people are struggling going back to work. Even at my job, I work for the St. Louis Public Schools, and we have a lot of job openings because people just, you know, it's a different, you know, ideology of, you know, I'm so used to being at home and having the comfort and convenience of being able to be with my family and care for my children while working. Do you feel like that's kind of your thing? Can you see yourself full time back just at the office and not from home?
Oh, no. I have turned in my 60-day notice to my office. And so it's my intention just to remain 100% telehealth. If need be, you know, it's all contingent upon what the insurance companies say, because of course, you know, they're the overseers. And so, but if I had my way, no, I will remain virtual from here into eternity. Yes. But yeah, but also I have clients that were working from home, and they're the companies that they work for have, you know, said you're going to stay home, you know. And then early in the pandemic, well, I say midway through the pandemic, you know, there's been a lot of research, and companies are saving a lot of overhead, you know, a lot of money with keeping their staff at home. The research has shown that individuals are more productive, which you would think you're at home, you have all these things, but actually it's the opposite. When we're in the office, and you know, you're going to talk to your good girlfriend, co-workers, you're going to the cafeteria, you know, you're taking the long way round. And so research has shown that employees are more productive working from their homes than they are back in the office. And so what a lot of companies are doing, they're doing like a hybrid schedule where they will require, you know, a certain number of employees back in the office maybe once or twice a week. And then the rest of the week they are working from home.
Yeah, I know my friend is like that. And just a few people I know, they are like that. I'm full-time in the office, but there are some that do, you know, 2 days a week, 3 days a week in office, and then the rest at home. But I also know someone, our cousin, who works for Verizon, and Verizon told them, you know, that's it. No more office.
No more office.
Yeah, from home from now on. So basically he converted, you know, a room into a full office.
Yep.
Because why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? That's where he's going to be until, you know, either he transitions to another job or retires. I would make it my office.
Yeah, I'm experiencing that because I have until August to clear out my office, and I have minimal furniture there, but since, you know, March of last year, I've had to convert a room in my house to my dedicated office area. And so, you know, you got to figure it out. You got to make it work so that we can continue to pay the bills.
Do you think it works on your psyche, like having a dedicated office? Does it make you go in and work? Like, instead of just, you know, some people just roll over in the bed, throw the laptop on their lap, open it up and go. What do you think?
I just say, like, early in the pandemic, working from home, I would be very lazy with coming to my office, you know, down the stairs, and all I would do was just, you know, throw on a decent top or, you know, a cardigan, and still have like pajama pants on and, you know, house shoes, and then just show up just in time to log on. But what I found was that didn't work for me. You know, so I had to get back. I did that for about a month, but I was still tired. So what I had to do, I had to readopt my old routine with getting up, doing my grooming, putting on some clothes, and then at the best, like going outside office clothes, but
Mhm.
being more presentable than coming downstairs, making my coffee as though I am going into the office.
Okay.
Okay. And so my advice to those, I know a lot of people, clients and friends and colleagues that have done that. They get up, their laptop's in the bed, they just roll over, they log on, and they wonder why they're tired because we associate our bedrooms as our sanctuary. That's where we rest.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so our mind equates that, you go in your room, you lay down, it's like, oh, I'm yawning, I'm ready to fall asleep. Well, if you're not ever getting up, then how can you work at your fullest potential? So I always advise people, if you haven't already done it, to start doing it. Take your office out of your bedroom into another room, so at least you're getting up and away from your resting place.
Nice. Speaking of, I think this is on topic. What does post pandemic, like now we out, for the most part, most cities are open. Most cities are not requiring the mask anymore. Most cities are getting back to work. I was listening to Wendy Williams earlier via YouTube, and she was saying that after their hiatus, they're coming back full studio, no missing seats, no mask, no temperature checks, nothing. Like, I feel like this summer is going to be full of like a lot of concerts and just people, whether they're vaccinated or not. That's the thing. And it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated. It really doesn't. Because they're saying you can get it anyway if you're vaccinated. The symptoms just aren't as severe. So
right.
I still don't understand the whole, kind of the honor system when it comes to, certain stores. Like, if you just say you're vaccinated, we don't ask to see proof. We don't ask for a card. We don't care. You can come in without a mask, as if you still can't transmit the virus. So,
right.
Like and I know, you're not the doctor, but I feel like you're close enough. What do you, just like, because I know for me, I'm not quick to still be right beside somebody.
Mm-mm.
And when I got on a plane going to Cancun, I said this before in another conversation, in another Let's Talk, I didn't like the fact that my plane was full. I felt like I could just smell Harris skin. Like, why? Why do I smell people? I haven't smelled people in a year.
Yes.
It bothered me.
Yeah.
So
it bothers me too.
think?
The most that you can do is, I know, we're only responsible for ourselves. We're only in control of ourselves. I tell clients that all the time. I have to remind myself every single minute of the day. I'm only in control of myself. And so just so happened a couple of days ago, I had to restock my disposable mask little baggie in my car. Because here in Marion County, Indianapolis, Indiana, they have lifted the mask ordinance if you are fully vaccinated. Now, how am I supposed to know if the person next to me is fully vaccinated, right?
It's the honor system.
It's the honor system. Just so happened, I was having this conversation with someone this morning, that I still have my vaccination card, which I had eliminated. It's still in my purse and my wallet because I've never taken it out. And but how do I know? People just use that as, oh, it's a freebie. Okay. So all I can do to protect myself and to protect my family is to continue to wear a mask myself, continue to social distance myself. I want to say this post-pandemic, as we're slowly creeping out of this, I don't think it's going to be anytime really soon. I think we're going to still be in this aftershock in a way till the end of the year, sleeping into 2022. That's my feeling, my opinion. A lot of people, like, I'm an introvert. Let's put that out there. Okay. So when COVID came around and we were shut down, I was already in my comfort zone. I wasn't missing anything.
I was.
I was like, cool. So, people who are socialites, extroverts, a lot of them were really struggling because they were looking for that person-to-person interaction with their loved ones, with their friends, being able to go to concerts, travel freely, eat freely, have cocktails with their, with their companions. But what I've been noticing in a lot of my clients who thought that they were extroverts, now they're in this new comfort zone where they're in no rush to leave back out. And when we do go out, it's like this anxious feeling because it's the fear of the unknown. So whether you had COVID at some point or you haven't, it's still the fear because, as you've already stated, Melva, the vaccination does not. It's not a force shield. It doesn't protect you from it.
And you can still transmit it.
Yes, yes. It's just that your symptoms are less severe than what they would have been, pre-vaccine. Yeah. So, I mean, we're seeing that, people are slowly venturing out. You still have those daredevils that are like, to hell with it. I'm just going to go out here and live my life. But there's also those that are like, no, I'm still, nope, still door dashing, still having my groceries delivered, still doing, what is it, like car pickup where they bring it out to the car, and so is it a new way of living? Possibly. Yeah. And we were all able to survive, and I pray for those who have lost loved ones and they're still struggling with the after effects of COVID because, there are a lot of people that are. But for those of us that have been fortunate enough to still be, physically on this planet, then that's the question. Is it a new way of living? I don't think that we will ever be able to go back to the way that things once were, where we were living freely.
And I hear you, as they say, but I think it is, as they say, there's an exception to every rule. So I feel like, for me, because the pandemic, like I never stopped working from the office ever. Not even when it first shut down, because I was working for the Salvation Army and we were considered essential workers. So we immediately got the letters. They dispatched us to shelters. We were doing all kind of stuff. I still went out to work every day. For the most part, my family really kind of still was. Maddie, my daughter, her school was, they slowly shut down. But and that's just because she's in private school. They don't have a lot of students. But for the most part, everything else was just kind of business as usual, even eating. Because here in Missouri, you can go to St. Charles and they were still letting people eat in the restaurant.
Oh, see now. Yeah. No, Indiana was the complete opposite, I mean, we got so accustomed to takeout margaritas, where you would go, order your food, carry out, and then they got where you want a drink to go. They put it in a styrofoam cup. Okay. With my daughter's school and my son, he's in high school, they were, even for the fall, for the upcoming school year, they were giving parents the option of continuing to go virtual. But how are they going to do it? That if you just can't, it can't be a hybrid. If you're going to do virtual, you're going to do virtual for a whole semester, and then you can revisit it again in January. And so maybe it could be a regional thing, it could be a state by state, it could be a county thing. But here, again, is this because they see that we could do it? So I think that's when I made the comment about, is this going to be our new normal compared to where we were before? We may not be able to get back where we're doing everything freely. But we were, having concerts with tens of thousands of people there.
But that's what I'm saying. In some places they are.
Yeah.
Like literally
here,
in areas like in St. Charles, it's still, first of all, listen, I'm having all kind of technical difficulties today, but there were times where at the height of the pandemic, we would go downtown St. Charles and they still wouldn't be in masks. We went for my mom's birthday to Branson. They had it all on the news. It was thousands of people there, just on top of each other, as if. Even in Cancun, it was as if it had never happened. It was still packed. So I feel like there are going to be a handful of people that this is the new normal. Doing DoorDash, getting their groceries delivered. And then there are some people that's so sick of it, they're forcing it. They're just going to do what they're going to do.
Yep. So,
and
again, you know, whatever the outcome is, and what you just have to understand, you have to just be truthful with whatever role you play. You played it safe. If you ventured out, you know, you're a risk taker. You know, it is what it is. But, you know, do I wish we could go back to the old way? Of course I do. Of course I do. But have I learned new things since being on this, you know, shutdown? Absolutely. And so, you know, I try to find the positives in everything.
Yeah.
And I did. Not spending as much money, you know, doing things around the house, spending more time with the kids, cooking more instead of eating out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, and every day you should find something positive out of everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, we have beat that horse. I want to talk about Bill Cosby is out. And I know, everybody have their opinion. I'm not here to render an opinion. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened.
Neither was I.
I don't know, you know, and people say, well, he said that this was, or they said this. And then it was so many years ago, you know, you and I discussed earlier, I've been around that scene. I know how it goes. I know what's prevalent. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
My thing is, what do we think about him? Like, now that he's out, he's free. Okay. Do we go back to him being a legend, or, and I have to give I'm sorry. I'm going to ask a question to you, or pose the question, do we go back to him being a legend, or is he, quote unquote, blackballed? But I will say this. In my opinion, this is going to be so unpopular and terrible, but I still don't discount his body of work.
Yeah, I agree.
I still watch. I don't know why they don't care about everybody still watching all the other shows where people were doing this. Roseanne, who was, you know, whatever, and all these other shows. So why do we have to stop watching the Cosby Show? It was a great show. I feel like with great actors on there. I feel like he did a lot in his career. So then it's like, I get it. Like, I'm not condoning what he may have allegedly done. I don't know. I'm not judge, jury, and I wasn't there.
Right.
But I'm curious to see if the networks will put, you know, you think he's done.
They're not going to. I think he's done. I think this is my opinion, okay? I think in the society we live today, he's done, okay? Now, do I not give him credit for the work? Like The Cosby Show. Amazing. Okay?
A different world. He was
amazing. A different world is the reason why I went to an HBCU, graduated from HBCU.
Yeah.
You know, being in the Midwest, we don't have any around here. The closest you have is Ohio and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have
Kentucky.
Jefferson City here. Well, we have Harris Stowe.
Okay. No, we don't have a traditional HBCU, you know. So I have to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
Now, again, I wasn't in the room. Do I question one's ability to recall certain details? I don't know these individuals that have come up and have brought these charges against him. I do know that sometimes, working with a lot of women and men who have faced molestation and rape in their time, it's trauma. I'm not taking anything away from that.
Yeah.
That's their
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there's been so many that it's taken a long time to come forth.
Yeah.
Okay. And so all I can say is if he did do that, I'm not the judge or the juror. Okay. Then shame on him. All right. And he had to pay for his time. All right. But does that take away from his works, his professional life? No, not to me. Not to me. But to answer your question, are they just going to say, okay, he's out. Here go all your awards, all your accolades, and put all your shows back on in syndication? Nope. They're not going to do that.
So
I would be surprised.
Uh-huh.
If I were him and I was reading on social media today and somebody had posted, I don't know if it was Judge Mathis, for whatever reason, I follow him on Facebook, but somebody had posted a comment under his post saying, Mr. Cosby, and Miss Cosby, you guys need to flee the states, go to some country.
Yeah.
Okay?
Just live out the rest of your life.
Live the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Freely.
Under the radar.
Under the radar, so that you won't have to be confined to your home.
Yeah.
And not being able to just walk outside to get your mail.
Yeah.
And I read that and I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And he has the money still.
Yeah.
They have it.
Yeah.
They have it. He's done a lot of philanthropic work. I feel like he's made a difference. And I know that sounds terrible. Because considering now R. Kelly is in New York, awaiting another, trial and sentence and stuff like that. And I look at R. Kelly different. No, I don't like R. Kelly. I feel like even though he has made some hits.
Yeah.
He has made some hits, but I can't even take his hits seriously. Like, I don't want to hear him in the club. I'll go to the club, but I don't want to hear them, period. I feel like the difference, and I can't say what R. Kelly has done for people or not, but I don't see what he's done in the scheme of things in comparison to like a Bill Cosby, who has given millions to the United Negro College Fund, who has, like you said, inspired so many young. I bet there are a ton of young Black Americans who only went to college because of A Different World.
Absolutely.
So he's made a different, and I get that these ladies are coming out, and I'm not trying to take away from like you said, from anybody's trauma or experience. I'm not saying that. I understand that you have to have access to get that close to somebody.
Yeah,
and that's, in order for that to, so if a handful of people got that close to him and that habit, I'm not taking that away. I'm not saying that, so they deserve to be disregarded and let's put him back up on the pedestal. I'm just saying I'm quicker to watch the Cosby Show than I am to step in the name of love, just because I feel like there is, I can't, there's still a level of regard for someone who was such a positive influence and force in so many, in millions of people's lives. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. I think, again, my disclaimer, my opinion, I agree with you. I do. I think it's how Karen has viewed Bill Cosby. Okay. minus, and again, I'm not trying to say that what he did or did not do, or these allegations, or what he was charged on. I'm not saying that they were small, that they don't matter, because the victims do matter. Okay, if this truly happened and they were victimized, they do matter.
Yes.
Okay, and they have a voice and it needs to be heard. But I think that with R. Kelly, I see him in a totally different light, like on the total opposite end of the spectrum. If we're talking about professionals, like in the spotlight. Out, to me, he was just an entertainer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, reading on his upbringing and just, you know, the traumas he's experienced and, you know, all the setbacks, then that's unfortunate. But what he has done, you know, today I see, oh, get the alert as soon as it happened, Bill Cosby's being released. I was like, oh, interesting. And I just kept going through my day, kept going about my day. There's no reason to post it on social media because everybody else is posting on social media, because there's no reason to. Interesting. I wonder if there were technicalities. Pennsylvania found something. Oh, interesting. And life goes on. All right. Now, R. Kelly, if they were to say that I may be more interested to be like, huh? Because you have all of this evidence.
Yeah.
That is out here.
Yeah.
And
you know, homegirls.
Yeah.
Not a one-time situation, not a night.
Right. And so I would probably, my response would be totally different with R. Kelly than it was today with Bill Cosby.
I would almost probably be outraged with R. Kelly. Like, what? How is he? You know what I mean? That's the thing. That sounds, and I have to stop. You know what? Even in front of everyone, I do have to be cognizant of that type of thought process as well. You know, everybody has their story.
Everybody's a walking book.
Yeah. And it's grace that saves all of us. Because if we could say it was according to our works, then we could brag to say, I'm better than this person, and there, you know, I put myself up against, and I don't. But so we do have to get better with that. But pray for me. I'm getting there.
Pray for me too. So am I.
Because, you know, I think ultimately, I'm happy to see him out. And I know that happy is subjective, because I'm using that for lack of a better term. I mean, I don't know him personally. I really don't have any stock in whether Bill Cosby is in prison or out of prison.
Right.
That said, him being so old, and if he could go somewhere and sit down and hide, and like you said, another country perhaps, maybe just be somewhere where he's to himself, you know, don't try to do anything else. You've done enough. You know, like I said, you have a legacy that speaks for you. No need to try to come out and try to prove yourself. Just chill. Stay out of our way. Don't be OJ popping up on TMZ every once in a while, or, you know, giving opinions. No, go into obscurity. And enjoy
your last years. Of your life. I mean, look at this as a blessing for him. We talk about outside of the victims. You know, he's still a human, and so he needs to take this as it's truly a blessing. Because, you know, I was nervous. I thought that he was going to die in there.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. I thought that he was going to die in there.
I did. And then the funny, he was all blind before he went in. Now it looks like he can see. Okay. Listen.
Well, you know, he's still Bill Cosby, so he might got some pull, you know, a little hook up here or there.
He could have had that hook up for the years he was strolling with his eyes looking crazy on somebody's arm. Honey, he came out there press conference looking at everybody. So Bet you on, Bill. On that note, we'll get off of him. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, since we have you, come on, our resident therapist, community partner.
Hey.
Hey. I had a guest not too long ago, and we had the conversation about Ratchet TV.
Mm.
Okay. And I did honestly went, let me say this. I have to be honest, because I said honestly, right? Speaking my truth. I didn't feel a way about it because I'm okay with liking Ratchet TV. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so what?
Mm-hmm.
I do. That's my
Mm-hmm.
pastime. It's me. But I did kind of for a second like, well, should I be, am I too old? Am I too sophisticated? But then I immediately came back to myself and was like, listen, as sophisticated and old as I am, I like Ratchet TV. Okay.
Right. It's
So
for entertainment purposes
think?
only. I mean, Ratchet TV is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they call it reality TV.
Uh-huh.
But how real can it be when you have cameras everywhere? And
the producers are feeding the scenarios.
Right. Yes. And then you have to stop, and then you have to redo it. Mm-hmm. And, so it's not reality. I mean, these are people, and then too, are they renting these houses for, just for the show? And, is it the glitz and glam of it all? It's for entertainment purposes only. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I was a big Ratchet reality TV fanatic. The only thing that's changed was during COVID, and it wasn't just, I'll say during COVID, but all the killings of our Black men and women and just the media. And I identified that as a trigger for me, where it was, it was messing with my emotions.
Yeah.
And so I had to turn off TV, and there were moments where I was off of social media, and I had to remove all of my, most of my news alerts because I was tired of it. Mm-hmm. And so when I realized, I took my TV out of my bedroom so I could sleep better at night. Now I still have my phone and my iPad, but I usually use that for, like YouTube, go down that rabbit hole of YouTube. And, so I do, I still on YouTube, I will watch some of the YouTubers that, oh my God, what's the guy's name? Oh my God, there's a couple of them that I watch, and they are just bloggers about, reality shows. So I'm able to keep up.
Do you watch DJ Richie Sky?
No, not him, but I think I've seen him before.
I like his, or Kim, is it Kemper?
I watch Funky Geneva. I think that's his name.
Oh wow, I've never heard of him. Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean he's from Miami. He's still living in Miami now. But yeah, so he does them, and so it just gives me my life. Yeah, it gives me my life for a little bit. And then if I am not preoccupied on a Sunday, then I would try to catch up with, the Real Housewives of Atlanta or Married to Medicine. Those are really my two. Early on, before, pre-pandemic, I was watching all the Housewives and all the Basketball Wives and all the Love and Hip Hops and all of that stuff. And I think for me, I don't think for me, but I think for others, it's just a distraction.
Yeah.
From real life. But then for some, especially our younger adults and teenagers, they see that not as for entertainment purposes only, but as reality.
Yeah.
And then they want to be them.
Yeah.
Try to emulate them. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, I love a good Ratchet TV. Why not?
Why not?
I feel like, social media is ratchet.
It is. Listen,
right?
Listen, life is ratchet.
Right.
I'm with you, and I feel like there's a balance. it's not like, and I'm not saying even if I did, I'm not, okay, let me put this out there. I am an avid reader. Well, now I'm all about Audible because it makes it easier to get the book in me
Yes.
without having to have the time to sit there. I can listen to the book in the car or listen to it in the tub, or find it's easier to find pockets to get the book done if it's on Audible. And I don't read. Not even though I am getting ready to start listening to my god sister's book. I believe it's Loving Man. I ordered it on Audible. I pre-ordered it, so I've had it a while now. But most of the books, 99% of the books I listen to or read are informational.
Okay.
Like How to Own Your Own Mind, or The Road Less Traveled, or like my favorites, The Alchemist, or privatized banking systems. I read that. Just The Banker to the Poor. So all of the books that I love, Acres of Diamonds, all the books I love are informational. So when I'm done getting knowledge, it's time to unwind. I want to get ratchet. And I watch, like you said, I love Married to Medicine. I love The Housewives of Atlanta. I love Black Ink. I love the hip hop.
Yeah.
So I do. It is, and I'm not going to call it all ratchet. I like Married to Medicine because even though it is, sometimes I have to stop watching it because sometimes the conflict every episode is a lot. It's just a lot. But I like seeing us in that light. We're successful. We're doctors. And a bunch of them, I like the couples where the husband and the wife is a doctor. There's a lot to be said for that. So, and most of them have just crazy upbringings, like Dr. Heavenly. She was, the fact that she said her mom didn't even let her out the house. And she grew up, in Miami. Everybody look at Miami as a kicking spot, but I'm sure the people living there don't look at it that way. So it's, and to see them, determined to succeed, scratching and surviving. And I get to watch. And even if they are going to fight, okay. I know, but it's good entertainment. One of the things that I think when it comes to Married to Medicine, I know versus any of the other shows is sometimes I am uncomfortable by how much they share with each other on camera. Like, some of these are very private things, and you all are choosing to, handle it publicly. And for me, it's not the big situations. A lot of times it's the small conversations.
Okay.
Like when one couple feel like they could call you out on, well, why did y'all do? Or where are y'all? Well, we saw that you eek, and you all are addressing this. So it's intentional. We're mic'd. There are boom mics over us, cameras. So you're bringing this up, or we're talking about this, and so that's my only thing. Like, sometimes I do think they overshare.
Well, I think with that, again, I'll keep saying it, for entertainment purposes only, number one, okay, which includes ratings. So you have to have the ratings, so you have to have the viewers to get the ratings. And then the ratings is what's going to keep you going for another season. All right? And then everybody wants to be relevant. Make sure they keep a spot there.
Yeah.
But it's still supposed to be reality TV. So they have to give a little bit of their reality to the viewers.
Yeah.
Now, I agree with you. I don't like all the Black women fighting. You know,
Yes.
society always thinks that we're evil and we're
Yeah.
corrupt and we're, just have
Confrontational.
this confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there just validates what they say, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't like that, but I do like when they find a resolution, when they come together and they apologize and and they speak from their heart. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I do like that, but does it always happen? No. Do they carry grudges? Yeah, sometimes. Does it make, do these shows create a certain image for that individual?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you watching a movie and I'm trying to think. It's like you're watching a movie and that movie will portray like Martin Lawrence in this character. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and say that, and then everybody thinks that's him. You know what I'm saying? Even in real life, they think that that is him in everyday life.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that that's fair for people to have opinions of others just based off of what they see on TV. But then
Yeah.
again, you sign up for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
You
Yeah.
do.
And so you have some entertainers, some actors, some rappers, some whoever that they will say, I tried it once, I wasn't down for it. They wanted me to do
Mm-hmm.
this, step outside of my character. No, I'm not going to do this just for ratings. No, because my name and my brand is all that I have. So they had to walk away,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so sometimes I think some of these people sell their souls.
Yeah.
Dot, dot, dot.
That.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them do it eyes wide shut.
Mm-hmm.
They think this is what they want, and they're
Yeah.
so hungry for the money and the fame and the everything that goes with it. It really does become um, unfortunate because you watch them being willing to do anything or expose anything to stay on the show and to stay relevant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Screen black.
I am going through so much. Listen, it is the technical difficulty of it all is more than a notion. So my phone is on do not disturb and yet it's still ringing. So I apologize. But
Okay.
um so moving on within that vein, but still kind of talking about that because we do see them take on different roles in front of the camera. But I kind of wanted to talk to you too about being, a mom, uh, having something like a show or something like a career or something
Mm-hmm.
like just something to keep you busy, whether it's school. And then you have our children, it's the summertime. They seem to, I asked my daughter if she watched TV shows and she really don't. She
Mm-mm.
just on YouTube. What are we supposed to be doing? Like, what is that about? Like, literally, as parents, how do we maintain that balance of us still doing our thing,
Mm-hmm.
having the time for extracurricular activities, and still making sure they are exercised and out of the house and active? And
Mm-hmm.
because I know you and your daughter are very active.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
how do you maintain that balance?
I used to tell people, I haven't said it in a long time, so now you
I
bring this
can't
to
hear
my
you.
attention. I can hear you clearly.
Oh shoot.
Can you hear me?
Okay. They said we can hear, they can hear us, but we just
Okay.
can't hear each other.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
Yeah, I still can't hear
Mm-hmm.
you.
Okay. So I'm gonna answer that question. Um. Uh.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Hmm. Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
No. And I don't
Okay.
know what would have changed. Just go ahead.
Okay. Um. So what's I going to say? Oh, okay. So I lost my train of thought for a second. So I tell people all the time that I run on autopilot, where I don't think about it. I just make it
Uh-huh,
happen. And
uh-huh.
so with that, like my daughter, she's 11. She is a competitive gymnast. And so she's going on her 6th year as far as a competitive gymnast. She trains 20 to 24 hours a week.
Mhm.
Every week, this is year round. As long as she loves it, then I'm going to make it happen. And so with the summer schedule and then like the schedule that changes back in the evening in the fall, well, like the end of July, um, the great thing about working for myself, then I have the flexibility to change my schedule accordingly. So I just have to be proactive and diligent with changing the schedule to meet her needs. And then my son, he's year round too. He plays football, but he plays football and runs track at high school. And the school he goes to a private school. In his school, they train football year round. So they're doing weightlifting, they're doing conditioning. Um, and so, with me, I just co-parent with their dad to make sure that the kids' needs are being met. But I do have to make sure that I am setting time for myself, you
Mhm.
know, because if I don't practice good self-care, then I'm not going to be good. Self-care is like fuel for your vessel. Like if you have a car and she is in your car, I call her my car is a she, and she's running low on fumes, and then you get the warning light. And so for me, if I'm exhausted, that's my warning light. So I have to make sure that I take time for myself, and once I take time for myself and I'm refueling my vessel, then everyone else around me reaps the benefits of it. Okay. So, yeah, it is trying to find a healthy balance across all roles that we play as mothers, whether we're wives, a mother, employee, a business owner, whatever. It is, we do need to find that healthy balance.
I think that's good. I think you made some good points. I know I am straight reading your lips, but I felt like I got everything. You talked about everything from her loving gymnastics to him being in football, and just
Mm-hmm.
that balance and making it work and the
Yes.
self-care of it all. I think that is the biggest secret, is to make sure you're okay. If the mom is okay, then the kids can be okay. But I think a lot of times we find ourselves frazzled, and our children can see it, and then sometimes you have to hope that it doesn't make them feel bad or guilty about
Mm-hmm.
you know about being um let me can you
Can you
hear
hear
me?
me?
No, I still can't hear you.
Okay. I can hear you
So either
clearly.
way, but we almost, I'm not going to stress it, but either way it is, it's important to have balance. We talk about that with Find Out, that taking that holistic approach. I said it Sunday at the event I spoke at, or presented at, and I told them I could stand here and tell you, I could teach you stock, bonds, real estate investment trust. I could teach you how to engage in investing in commodities or precious metals or foreign exchange. But what difference does it make if I tell you this and there's
Mm-hmm.
a behavioral issue and you're unbalanced and you're not going to practice the discipline to see it through? We hear information
Mm-hmm.
all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but hearing information does not make us act on it. Um, if it doesn't make us act on it. That comes from being intentional, being disciplined, being balanced, and I think that that is the secret or the key to being able to maintain a schedule where your children are active, you're
Mm-hmm.
working,
but you still making time to be a mom, have FaceTime with them, in person, uh, and still making sure, everybody has their own lane
Mhm.
uh, to drive in. I think that's good. Well, we have been on here, honey, already almost an hour. And I
It was
feel like I
fast.
still can't hear you. You said that. I know, because the conversation be so good. Look
I
at
know.
us. The conversation is so good, but I appreciate you coming and talking. I feel like having this platform and opening it up to just having general discussion is really beneficial to our listeners, because they get to pick up those little nuggets that, sometimes we don't get when the show is so formal and so
I
focused.
know. I know. I don't
So,
like formal. I don't like it formal. I want to be informal. Informal is what works best. So
as much
yeah.
as possible. Well, on that note, and I see we have our banner up. Karen, can you tell our listeners where to find you if they want your help, if they're in the state that you are licensed in, and if they can schedule an appointment with you, or if you're
Okay.
taking new appointments, or if
Mhm.
they could book you for their show? How do we
Mhm.
find you?
Okay. And so again, the name of my practice is Elevated Minds LLC. I'm physically based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm licensed in Indiana, Florida, New Jersey. Again, I specialize working with individuals, anxiety, depression, adjustment disorders, addictions. I work with couples too. And with couples, I can work with couples all over the country, all over the world.
Mhm.
Okay, just not limited to Indiana, because it's not therapy, so it's like relationship counseling. Okay, and again, and I work with athletes too, specialize in working with athletes as well to help them get rid of those mental blocks that they may experience when it comes to the sports that they love. So just not professionals, which that's my ideal clients, but also kids and college, high schoolers and college students as well, and adult semi-pro professionals too. And so again, my name is Karen Moore. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and a licensed clinical addictions counselor. I can be reached at my email address is elevatedminds at me.com. Contact number is 317-610-6451. And social media is Elevated Minds LLC on Facebook as well as Instagram.
Yeah, I follow you on your Instagram page, honey. Listen, you have followers, child. Uh,
Yes, and
th-
I have a separate one. It's called Black Girls underscore Therapy Club, and so I just utilize that for information, giving out information and motivational quotes, and so I really do love that platform. Yes.
Perfect. Listen, as always, you have been the best guest. Thank you again for coming through. Stopping by. Let's talk,
Thank you.
guys. We're here every week going live. If you subscribe and hit the bell, you'll know when. Okay, join us here every week. Thank you again to my special guest, my cousin, the incandescent Miss Karen J. Moore. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, thank you to my wonderful, I have to shout out my wonderful chief of staff, Shanae. Listen, she has been producing this thing, taking care of me. She tries to get us together and working. I know I have been a headache for her today, because I don't know what the technical difficulties are all about, but we pushed through. So I want to thank her again. Thank you all for being so supportive. Until next time, later.